Yes, yes.
That looks good.
Couple quick bites.
Nice chuck.
Oh, nice.
Bring it up a little more.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today is April the 4th and we're fishing along the coastline near Santa Barbara for rockfish. For today's trip, I want to do as much slow pitch jigging as possible without switching over to my bait rod.
Once again, guys, welcome aboard here. Good morning and good luck today.
The depth that we're fishing today is anywhere from 250 feet to 300 feet. So the jig I chose was the Shout Lance 250 gram Zebra Glow. With 20-pound braided line, I was able to keep my jig vertical pretty well throughout that day. A few minutes into the first drop, I felt a bite, and just as I was reeling in, the head shake soon went away. So I knew there was a fish, and I immediately dropped the jig back down. After about 10 more pitches, I hooked the fish again. It turns out to be a chucklehead. Not a huge fish, but it's a great start. My confidence for the slow pitch jigging on that day started to build up. This was our second spot. We were running and gunning the whole day. If one spot did not produce, we quickly moved on to the next one. Captain mentioned here that the fish was suspending at about 20 to 25 cranks above the bottom. So I quickly cranked about 20 times and started working my way up slowly. And soon enough, I felt the bite and hooked my second fish. It was a widow rockfish. This experience of hooking a suspended fish was very new to me. I only watched other people do that on YouTube, but it was my first time experiencing it. It showed me how important it is to listen to the captain's instructions. After a few drops with no bites, I switched to another rector body jig, hoping that the flat jig would present better following actions. The captain here again was asking us to come up 5 to 10 cranks from the bottom. So again, I cranked 5 times and started to work my way up slowly. All of a sudden, the line went slack when the jig was falling. And after watching plenty of slow pitch jigging videos on YouTube, I knew that meant one thing: the fish was biting. Then I set the hook immediately. And indeed, it was a fish. And that was pretty cool. The rod I was using was the Tempo Reef Innovate 8-foot medium heavy action. It has a very sensitive and parabolic tip and a quite strong butt section. And the 8-foot length makes it perfect for jigging on a party boat. During this drop, I was one of the very few guys on the boat who got a bite, which turned out to be a vermilion rockfish. For this particular drop, the captain mentioned that the fish was right on the bottom. And sure enough, after I sink the jig to the bottom, there was an immediate strike. After a few cranks, I lost that fish and I dropped it down again. And this time, I was able to set the hook more firmly and catch the fish. The The main technique I was applying was the long fall, sticking close to the bottom unless told otherwise by the captain. And usually when the bite is hot, everyone should be catching fish, whether it's bait or slow pitch jigging. This chucklehead was securely hooked on both ends of the jig, and he wasn't going anywhere. Towards one of the final spots, I was able to drop the jig to the bottom fast enough to get a reaction bite and hooked one of the largest chucklehead on that day. The reel I was using today was the Accurate Boss Valiant 300 SPJ. I just got the reel the day before the trip, and after using it, I'm very pleased with its performance. It has a crazy amount of drag for such a small reel. It weighs less than 10 ounces and holds about 450 yards of 20-pound braided line, which is more than sufficient for my slow pitch jigging in Southern California. We typically fish from 150 to 500 feet deep water, with most of the spots between 200 to 350 feet. So this reel holds more than enough line for me. The reel in combination with the Tempo Reef Innovate is one of the best setup I can think of for slow pitch jigging on a party boat here in Southern California. I really love its T-bar knob and the long handle, which gives you a lot of leverage when reeling in the fish. Finally, I want to make a conclusion for the effectiveness of SPJ on this trip. Generally speaking, if one spot is loaded with fish, either bait or SPJ will catch fish. When the fish are not cooperating, sometimes bait works better than jigs, especially live baits. And it's simply because that fish have an incredible sense of smell. But sometimes when the fish react better to reaction bites, SPJ tends to do a better job. That's my personal opinion. And again, at the end of the day, I had a great trip. It was the first trip I made with SPJ only, and I was glad that I followed through without touching the bait rod. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe button to encourage me to make more of these videos in the future. Thanks for the support.